What's up, Canes fans? Welcome to the Miami Knights podcast. You are tuned in to our post-national championship episode. Obviously, not the outcome that we wanted, but we keep it positive here on the Miami Knights podcast. There's plenty of negativity going around there. Obviously, we talk about the good and the bad of the game, but at the end of the day, your Miami Hurricanes made an incredible run this year. Looking back at it, when everyone in the country was completely shocked when the Miami logo popped up as the number 10 seed on the college football playoff bracket show, we've come a long way. That's all there is to say. And so we're looking forward to next year. So much transfer portal news going in right now. A lot of good news coming today. We're recording on Thursday, January 22nd, but we're releasing this on the 23rd. So a lot of stuff happening as we recorded this podcast today. Like and subscribe to this podcast. We're on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. That's about it. Go Canes.
I'm hurt, dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right. Hell no. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
Steer from the 3. Streaks across the 30. He might be gone.
It's up. Desmond to the right. Oh,
They got blockers. They got blockers. They've got a lane.
Into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. Darrell Langham with the grab.
Stars intercepted. Look out. Trajan Bandy, the true freshman. We got the truth again. Because when the U is on and the U brings it, there's nothing like it. We got to get this. And it's going to take everybody.
What's up, Canes fan? It is Friday, January 23rd, and we put this off for long enough. It is time for the Miami Knights boys, minus Kurt. You see, it's just Jimmy and myself here to talk about this game as your Miami Hurricanes fall in the national championship to the Indiana Hoosiers. 27-21. Indiana wins it. They finish 16-0, and apparently Kurt Signetti is God himself. Here we are. We didn't want to do this, but we had to. Got to face the music. Have to grieve. Have to recap. Have to process it all before we move on. Jimmy, how are we?
These colors right here, orange and green, they don't run. Mario's back out on the recruiting trail. We can get back on the pod.
Yeah, that's true.
And talk about it. I would be a horrible college coach because I would just be sulking this entire week and wouldn't leave the house. But Mario was back trying to get some transfer portal players and recruiting. He was at St. Thomas Aquinas like a day later. The man's built different. So. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, still licking our wounds over here. It is Thursday now. Yeah, we're gonna release this on Friday, but I'm feeling better. It's slowly getting better. But I actually didn't expect. Going into that game, I had told myself going into every single game, I'm just happy to be here. It's just great to be here. But man, when that interception happened, something in me died a little bit. I sat there and I just in the living room for like another 45 minutes and just like I sat there on the floor and just sit there in your own thoughts. I had to drive. I had class, my first day of class the next day on Tuesday.
Yeah, Jimmy's in the 10th grade.
Yeah.
By the way, everybody.
And I just listened to nothing on the way there. No sound, no music, just silence. So it's, we're thrilled to be there. It was an incredible season, incredible experience to go through this playoff run that truly none of us expected. I mean, I'll never forget the feeling of even seeing the Miami logo pop up on the playoff bracket.
That's what we have to remember. We have to remember that there was a moment that every single Hurricanes fan, maybe minus myself, thought that we were in the Pop-Tarts Bowl and that we were going to be seeing Emory Williams. Emory Williams has now transferred out. Best of luck to him. We'll get all into the portal talk, everything happening there at the end of this show. But yeah, so there was a moment that we thought Pop-Tarts Bowl bound. And when we made it into the playoff, I said that that's all I wanted out of this season. We can go ahead and lose to Texas A&M. Of course, we know what happened. Then we started just going on an absolute run of a lifetime, and we found ourselves in the national championship and ultimately with a chance to win it. and fell just short. But it hurts, it stings. This is our first time really being able to experience a national championship, let alone a national championship loss. And the end of season, whatever loss ends a season always hurts a little bit more.
Because, it's the last time you saw some of those players.
Yep.
Last time we saw Bain, Maui Noah, Mesidor, all these seniors, or
Yes.
juniors for Bain and Maui Noah. But it's the last time we see them suit up as a Canes fan. So it's like, it's tough to, that's the extra part that you don't really get to process until it happens.
Indeed. Okay, let's get into this game a little bit. So we never, after losses, we don't do Storm Awards, but there was a lot of good play. There was some bad play. Let's
I think
break
we could do Storm Awards. I thought
we do the Steam.
We don't
session.
do Aftermath report. We do the Steam session instead of the Aftermath report.
Oh, is that it? Okay,
yeah, that's
still
it. We
learning
could
our
give
own
some
segments.
awards. There were some
Okay.
great performances.
No, I agree.
in this game.
There was some great performances. Okay, we'll do Storm Awards, and through the Storm Awards, we'll recap some of the game. I do want to say broadly about this game, and is the first half. Going into halftime, I felt lucky to be down 10. And I had
100%.
kind of given up hope about the game. I'm like, we're down 10-0.
100%, yeah.
This could get out of hand. And then everything shifted, obviously. And I think that's what you're saying is on that final drive, what made that interception hurt even more was the fact that there was a lot of good leading up to that. Then Indiana calls a timeout. We go to commercial. We come back, and it's boom. You have all the hope. You're like, all right, we're in it. We've got
on the
first
40-yard
down
line,
boom.
or maybe it was second down. But still, yeah, you had the ball in your hands to go win this, and that's what made it sting. But before we
I think
get
it was
into
first
Storm
down.
Awards,
Was it second?
It wasn't. The pushing the ball wasn't required. Whatever it was, but the last thing before we get into the Storm Awards is. Frankly, I look at this game as a whole, and I believe we were just lucky to even have a chance at the end. So that's kind of what always brings me back, that I'm like, yeah, we had the ball to go win it at the end. But frankly, they were 2nd and 1 on the 8-yard line, and they get a false start, a team that does not get penalties against themselves. So there were breaks that happened for us.
Of course.
And there was a lot. They let both ways not get called penalties and stuff like that. So
yes,
at the end of the day, it's just the cards didn't fall in our favor enough. But it wasn't it didn't really necessarily feel like the SMU game where it's nothing went our way. It was
you're sitting there at the end how the heck did we lose that game?
Yeah, there was multiple things that we can point at why we didn't win this game.
Yeah, and what was our key? Everyone, and this wasn't just us, but the one thing that we really pointed out was against Indiana specifically, you have to play clean, disciplined football. And it's not that we played egregiously unclean, undisciplined football, but you make a few mistakes. Yeah, and Indiana, they pounce on it. You're talking about an Indiana team that has not fumbled the football since week 1. They've gone 15 straight games without losing a fumble.
And Mendoza should have fumbled on that one Mesidor sack, too. He had it. The ball was loose, but somehow he kept in his hands.
Hey.
But, Bauman heard you say clean. He said, wait, let him buy clean? And that's what he did.
I'm sure that's part of the Storm Award. Part of the well, I think we'll get into the block punt in the Storm Awards. I know I will.
We'll get into it.
But then you bring up Mendoza. I gotta hats off to him. Guy's an absolute gamer. This Heisman season was not the most hyped Heisman season ever. He was one of the least, I wouldn't say talented, but statistically least talented Heisman winners ever. But he showed in this playoff run, and with that final QB draw, the guy earned it. Without Mendoza, Indiana does not do what they did this year.
No, yeah.
Hats off to him. He beat us. He beat us.
And that QB draw is just a hell of a call. Hell of a call. It was something we really hadn't seen against us since Notre Dame, and it was effective against us against Notre Dame. And you probably think that Cignetti remembered that. Great coach. Yeah, it's like hats off to Indiana at the end of the day. They do what they do really well. And do I believe Miami at the end of the day is the more talented, our best is better than their best? Yes. but we just didn't see it. They do their best more than we do our best, and that was kind of the difference.
Yes, sorry, an ad is playing right now on
Nice.
ESPN's website.
You watching videos?
It's just in my head. Yeah, hang on, real quick. I did, just because I'm not going to be able to forget it. I did want to see on that last interception. It was Carson Beck. Yeah, it was it was 2nd and 3. You're right, 2nd and 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at the end,
why do these ads keep
that whole play in of itself, though, like, you got Marion after the game in tears, blaming it on himself that he didn't look back and like fight for it. But even then, man, it was like Carson played a clean game and a solid game outside of that. But I think the ball was underthrown. Like I don't really see what the vision even was on that play. So maybe I'm wrong, but
here's my thoughts on that play. Well, first of all, my thoughts, and I'm sure we'll talk about it more. We don't get everyone's throwing out the stat about how Carson Beck has ended each of our losses has ended with a Carson Beck interception. Yes, that stinks. It's unfortunate. 4 of his total 6 losses in college football have ended in interception. Carson Beck, we're not where we're at this season without Carson
Absolutely
Beck.
not.
How quickly when on Carson Beck's final drive, I saw a lot of the Twitter pundits saying like, here comes the Carson Beck interception, blah blah. But it's like, what did we forget what Carson Beck just did against Ole Miss a week ago? Leading a game-winning drive and making unbelievable throws, and
he made some great throws to even put us in the position in that game to win it. I mean, I think about the
scramble,
throw to Bauman, the big scramble with when Daniels got free in the middle of the field, like these huge, and that was a 3rd down play. These huge plays. So no Beck slander on this podcast. That man,
absolutely,
he is unnecessarily and undeservedly hated in this country. I don't understand it. He literally people just don't like him because frankly he's not the most attractive human being. People I think it makes people not like him.
It's
because he really is quiet.
People.
He's quiet off the field. And there's this fake quote going around right now about him why he didn't shake their hands. And I have people send this to me. I'm like, guys, these are fake quotes. Like, why are you anyone sees anything that's remotely related to Carson Beck being a bad teammate and a bad person, they just jump on it.
And it's like, dude, you just lost the national championship. It's chaos. People are storming the field. It's like, it's not a normal game. You're just going up shaking other people's hands. Like, you owe nobody anything after a game like that. But on that play, so it's essentially, and I've seen a lot of comparisons, and it is kind of true, except for this was 2 high safety. I don't know if the Tua play was just 1 high safety. I believe it was 2. It's basically the Tua play. The problem is 2 things. 1, when Tua did it, the safety gets looked off. Because they're playing 2 high safety, you're not really looking off the safety as much. Like, that's his zone. But Carson Beck, there was no, even glance to the right side of the field to even get the guy shifting one way. It was always going to the left side. So that's the first issue. If he throws that thing deep into the back of the end zone, a perfect ball, there's a chance it's completed. There's a chance.
Yeah. That safety was breaking
said, on it. It was just one of those things where it was like, it was the right read. I don't know what he was trying to do with the ball. If he was just trying to throw it underneath so Marion could kind of slow up his route, catch it underneath.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Guys.
Like a long dig route or something, or just a jump ball.
Yeah, I don't know.
None of the explanations made sense to me.
It's 2nd and 3, and you just shouldn't throw it. Now, at the end of the day, and then people are talking about on that play, Malachi Toney running open underneath. But if you actually watch it, the only reason that linebacker is so far away is because Carson Beck's he's already almost released the ball at this point.
Right.
Like, if Carson Beck turns and looks at Malachi, that linebacker's cutting across. It's a bang-bang play. Now you get tackled in the midfield.
And even then, it looked like blanket coverage. At the end of the day, what that ball needed, if you're going to throw that ball, just needed to be on the pylon, and maybe they catch it, maybe it's out of bounds. Right. But at the end of the day, also,
you're trying to make a play.
And if we get conservative there, and we do a Malachi, under route, and we get a little bit closer, that's also the number 1 team in the country in red zone defense. So there's no guarantee anyways that we get a touchdown to win that game. So
I think in a perfect world, if Carson Beck had that back, I do think he probably throws it, and you throw. It's the Tua ball where you launch this thing basically into the back of the end zone and hope and just it's got to be perfect. But that didn't happen, and here we are. Okay, let's get into Storm Awards. Your Hurricane of the game.
Hurricane of the game for me has to be Mark Fletcher, because this offense was doing nothing in the first half. It was like, let me know if you've heard this before. It was like Indiana knew every play we were about to do. Like
it did feel like that in the first half. I was
defensive
fully
play,
on board with the cheating allegations.
Yeah, their defensive play calls were absolutely perfect. It was like they knew every single time when we were going to pass or we were going to run. And I was trying to pay attention to it. Sometimes I'll try and guess and stuff. And I was a little off. Like it was something. It was just weird. And maybe it's Brock Shot, telling them our formations and stuff and our game plans and stuff like that. But I don't know. But nevertheless, we did nothing in the first half. And then that massive 56, 57-yard run by Fletcher in the third quarter just brought the life to the team. It's like, wow, we're only down by 3 now. It turns out it's the second longest run in college football playoff championship game history.
Yeah. 77 yards.
Was it 70? No, I thought it was only.
No.
I thought it was the longest.
Long.
Yeah, it was like 56. It was in the 50s.
Yeah.
But it's just an incredible run. He looked fast too.
He did, dude. It's because
very fast.
We're now seeing a fully healthy Mark Fletcher. We haven't seen it in a long time.
Honestly,
he looked like Derrick Henry.
Put Mark Fletcher on Heisman watch for me next year too. I think we got 2 potential Heisman guys. We may have 3 with Derry Mensa.
If we get Mensa.
Yeah. More of that to come. But I mean, if he could do what he's done this playoffs throughout next season, 100% he's in Heisman contention. Because he went, and it's not like, there's only a couple games where he did this. This was a 4-game run. He just had an unbelievable playoff performance, is the backbone of this team. I'm so happy he's coming back because he's one of those locker room guys that we need. We're losing guys like Bain and Maui Noah that were kind of like the leaders of this team, but we still got Fletcher, and I'm excited about that. So
I mean, he's this entire playoff run, he has played at just an entirely different level. If you can run with Mark Fletcher's size and the speed that we then saw, add that plus his patience.
Yeah.
It's Derrick Henry. It is a lethal combo.
I had someone text me, like, you didn't tell me that you had a Derrick Henry on your team.
It's unbelievable. So,
and it's true. Like you said, he hasn't been healthy. Like even in the beginning, he's faster than he was in the beginning of this year. There's just something that happened in between him when Pringle had to come in for a couple games, like Virginia Tech, like he didn't play in that game. There's some happened in between all that.
Yeah, unbelievable. I'm going to go my Hurricane of the game. I am going, I got to go with who started it all. I got to go with Ruben Bain.
Yeah.
Who we started with 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, I guess.
Don't make me cry.
And now in his final game as a Miami Hurricane, he played every single snap, never came off the field. Absolutely relentless pursuit.
God forbid he came off the field too. Those announcers.
Yeah, the announcers would let us know. I mean, it's like once again, it's another game. It's a toss-up between him and Akeem Mesidor.
Yeah,
it's the greatest defensive end duo to ever play for Miami. One of the greatest defensive end duos in college football history. And yeah, it hurts that they're gone. But I mean, Ruben Bain, like, what a way to go out! Laid it all on the field, and just he was tormenting that Indiana offensive line. And the guy, he's relentless, and he even in the playoffs, he improved his draft stock. Every single one of our guys that was going to get drafted in the first round all improved their stock through this
100%.
run, including in the championship game. At the biggest level, they all played great. Him, Maui Noah, and Akeem Mesidor. Like, the 3 guys that are going to go first round all played great.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's what I was thinking, the same thing. I mean, our defense was so good this game. Gave up only 20 points to Indiana, and like 7 points. Obviously, we gifted them, so only 20 on the D, and they played such a great game. I mean, you're going up against the Heisman winner. Like the heck of their team is so crazy is they have the Heisman winner at quarterback, but the strength of their team is running.
Dude, that running back, oh
very
my gosh, he's impossible to tackle.
He's impossible to tackle.
They
Very
have the
good
most
running back.
broken tackles in football, and we saw that.
Yeah.
Like you could say Miami, like our tackling was bad. I think it's more of just Indiana. That's what they do. They make you miss tackles.
It was like watching like someone playing Miami.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
They play our game. They play physical. Yeah. They're good in the trenches. They will run you down. They will wear you down throughout the game. And I think that's kind of what you saw a little bit at the end with our defense too. Is like they still held true, but they were getting pushed around a little bit at the end there, and some big gutsy conversions by Indiana. That if one of those goes a different way, we might be telling a different story today, but it is what it is, and they executed. But
what was Indiana's time of possession? Like, defense is just gassed.
It was 36 minutes.
I mean,
and that was the problem. Like, literally, we had started off the game with like three and outs or something like that. Like, it was bad. That was bad. But yeah, Bain, Mesidor, thank you guys. It makes me really sad we're not going to have them next year. It sounds like we're reloading in a sense, but I don't think you ever can truly replace.
No,
the number one and number two defensive ends in the country. Yeah. So,
and
Bain,
Ruben Bain,
thank you for your service.
Yes, and at the end of the game, he shouted out Akeem Mesidor, basically just like when Bain got on the team, Akeem Mesidor took him under his wing and like taught him what he knows now. So, just a cool story.
I hope they're passing that down. I hope guys like Hayden Lowe and I hope guys like Lightfoot are staying after next season with Jason Taylor, because I feel like every clip I kind of always saw was really just Bain and Mesidor, and I was always kind of hoping maybe there'd be a little bit more guys. I hope that these defensive ends are going to take the example that has been set.
Yeah, it's a good point, because that's what makes me feel optimistic about the future. Is one of the things that, yes, you lose production, you lose talent. A well-coached and a well-oiled machine, the one thing you don't lose is culture. If you see a team, we saw it with FSU. If you have a team of all portal guys that come in for a year, it's a mercenary team that you put all your eggs in one basket for that year and it doesn't work out, all those guys are gone. The culture leaves with it. When you have guys that have been there for 3 or 4 years, and it's harder and harder in football these days, but Mario Cristobal has done a very good job of maintaining cores of teams, and if you build that culture through that, and so now I've already seen Malachi Toney posting about just how he can't wait for next season, that next season's going to be different, they're going to go all the way, all this stuff. You got the freshmen, the sophomores that got playing time this year are now going to be the senior guys, and like that's the culture that you start building that I'm excited about. But so I'm not worried about replacing Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor as far as their work ethic goes. I mean, even though it was insane, like I heard stories about Ruben Bain at practice, the way that he practices, like just every single rep going 100%. Like you just don't.
He's going to the Senior Bowl. He does not need to go to the Senior Bowl.
Yeah,
but he's doing it because the man just has a love for the game, and he wants to just constantly prove everyone wrong.
Yeah,
man,
just wish he could have got. Mario Cristobal almost teared up saying he wishes he could have gotten these guys out with a national championship.
Oh yeah, Mario Cristobal. That interview was hard to watch from a standpoint of just like you feel for the guy, but like I said, he's a psychopath, and he's back on the recruiting trail the next day. But you can't understate how devastated I'm sure he was after that. But I just can't believe Ruben Bain's time here is done. I remember when I remember like it was yesterday when he committed, and it was like, like there was that fake, not even fake, but he did visit FSU, but it was like, what? Bain's not going to FSU. And then like immediately he commits to Miami after, and this Hurricane Bain nickname, and then his incredible freshman year. And I think that's why I feel so short, is we were kind of shortchanged with his sophomore year because he was injured.
Yeah.
And but man, what a treat. Ruben Bain, forever Hurricane legend.
My birthday's in May. I think I'm going to ask for a white number 4 Bain.
You better, because they probably won't be selling them the next year.
That is true. I think you can customize the official ones now.
If you could do that, that's pretty cool. I would like to maybe get a Tony one, because
Yeah, but you gotta be careful. I think he's changing his number. Might be. There's rumors.
Really? Ooh, I kind of like
Mensa
10
comes
for
in
him.
and takes 10.
Oh, is he a
JoJo
10
Trader
guy?
moves back to 0. Malachi takes his number 1, which I think he was 1 in high school.
He may have been.
Anyways, okay. Tropical storm of the week. Tropical storm of the game. Tropical storm of the national championship.
I mean, I think I'll just go with exactly who I was just talking about, Malachi Tony. I mean, wow. The man should be going to prom in a couple months, and he just put up 122 receiving yards and a touchdown in the national championship on the biggest stage, and didn't even flinch. Like it wasn't like it was some busted coverage touchdown he had. I mean, that man worked. That was a beautiful touchdown play he had. I mean, you know, starting off in the playoffs, Texas A&M, he has the fumble, and then comes back and gets that, big game-winning touchdown. Then kind of has a shaky game against Ohio State, a couple fumbles, but then rises to the occasion against Ole Miss, and then in this Indiana game. I mean, what a treat! I'm so thankful that he is like a Kane, because like if we had this type of a player that wasn't like, maybe it was like he would. I mean, I guess we did go late in the recruitment with him because he was there. I don't know. There was some back and forth in that recruitment, but you just feel like he's a true Kane. But if he was anyone else, I would be so nervous because that man has to be the most highly sought out talent in the country,
dude.
And the Hurricanes are kind of standing on an island right now because every team in the country the only teams they can pull people from are Miami and Indiana, and no one wants 25-year-olds from Indiana. And so they're coming after our guys right now. Yeah. And Tony, I'm sure Tony is being thrown numbers right now, but I have confidence, obviously, that, I mean, his mom's even posted he's not going anywhere, but it's such a treat to know that that man's a true freshman. We still have at least 2 more years of Malachi Tony.
I mean, listen, thanks to FSU and Clemson, we've got some money that we can spend right now to retain some players.
Yeah.
Malachi Tony, first of all, like you said, the confidence that he displays at his age, it is truly unlike anything I've ever seen. You see freshmen, I mean, we saw this actually with Jeremiah Smith. So it's not like anything I've ever seen, but you see freshmen that make plays, but just the way that they make them, even the way Malachi Tony handles punt returns, the guy is not scared at all.
No.
Almost to a fault. On the one punt return, he catches it at the 5. Should have let it go. Did you see on that play?
Did you see? Yeah.
That we had a setup for a fake.
For the lateral. And it was going to work. He was wide open on the other side of the
field.
Which
I believe is why Malachi Tony even fielded it at the 5.
Is. He should have let it go because how far he's going back.
Yeah.
That would have been electric.
It was going to be a perfect call, but that ended up setting up the block.
It'll drive you crazy if you think too much about it.
But yeah, Malachi Tony, I mean, that touchdown, it's a shame that his touchdown at the end in that fourth quarter won't be remembered for what it was. I mean, it was just such a massive score. Like we were down and out. We thought it was over, and then we drive down, and Malachi Tony makes that huge play, breaks a couple tackles into the end zone. I'm like, wait a second, we're back in it. That happened 2 more times. It felt like insane, but
the scary thing is he's only getting better. Like this isn't a guy that's going to
shout out Kevin Beard.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Kevin Beard has done. He's done a phenomenal job at this program. Do you remember the years, like, I mean, not even going that far back, like go back 4 years ago, we had wide receivers that would just drop balls. They were slow. They were undersized. And now we've got guys that, like, every single one of them could step up in any single game. Like, I mean, did we have a drop pass by a wide receiver in the national championship? I don't think we did.
Yeah, I can't remember one. I mean, Alex Bauman.
Well, we had one by a tight end, but I'm going to get to that in a second.
Yeah,
but none by our wide
That's
receivers.
True, no,
yeah. So.
Okay. My tropical storm and he was my hurricane to watch going into this game was Mr. Markel Bell, and he delivered. Our offensive line in general delivered. We were talking about an Indiana I know they didn't send a lot of guys, but you're talking about Indiana defensive line that gets after the quarterback. They cause chaos. Carson Beck had all day to throw, and then our offensive line started opening up holes in the running game. offensive line played off the charts, and specifically Markel Bell. You want to talk about a guy that, when you talk about Mario Cristobal developing offensive linemen, Alex Mirabal developing offensive linemen, Markel Bell is just the prime example of a guy that came in. The only reason we had him is because of his size, and we developed him into an actual a guy he's going to play in the NFL. We'll see what happens. We'll see where he ends up falling and how far he makes it. But the fact that he's even going to play is a testament to what this staff has done. But the guy, he played great. Didn't allow a single pressure, let alone a sack, and then had the highest run blocking grade on the team. So we needed it.
No, he played a great game. I am a little disappointed he's going to the draft. I
don't know if he could. I think he was going to have to sue for eligibility.
That's true. I think you are right about that. I think.
So I don't even think he was
going to have to apply.
It was a long shot for him to come back.
Yeah, and some guys don't want to go through that process. And he did have a great year. Just take your shot at the NFL. It used to just be like. It used to just be go if you even have a chance, because these players weren't making money. Now it's like, well, you could actually maybe make more money in college. But he played an incredible game in a game where, and Dad and I said this to each other when we were watching it, was the first time I'd seen the Hurricanes trenches get pushed around all season. And that's when you knew that this Indiana team was good. It wasn't necessarily that our trenches were playing bad. It was just we've kind of found a team that was pretty equal in that sense, at least with their defensive line against our offensive line. Our defensive line pushed them
third
around.
And ones.
Yeah. Those third. Yeah. So, they knew our play though. They knew exactly what we were calling. They were shifting to every single place we were running to, but whatever. But yeah, the Markel Bell, I mean, just a freak of nature. The pictures are hilarious when you see him next to some of these defensive backs and stuff. It's just they have no shot against him. I mean, he's the what's the guy's name on the Mountain in the Game of Thrones. He's the Mountain for the Hurricanes. So, that's a great one. Great year by him, but for a position that we were kind of a little skeptical about, what is Markel Bell going to look like this year, and absolutely delivered the whole season.
Yeah, because we knew the right side of our offensive line was the strong suit with CeCe Mauinoa and Inez Cooper, and it's what's that left side going to look like? And I mean, he played great all season, really, really great.
That's a good one.
Okay, now tropical depression of the game. Who let you down on the biggest stage?
I feel like this is a leading question. It's got to be Alex Bowman. And what kills me about that is he was my eye of the hurricane. But I feel good about
that. Was what the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I feel good that I did make him my eye of the hurricane, because we did try and target him.
Yeah,
and make him an integral part of the game, and it didn't happen for us. I truly don't know what happened on that punt. I look at it and I watch it over and over again. I try to put myself in his head, and I'm like, what was his logic not picking up this guy? And everyone is trying to blame it on the punter, saying he went outside of the three guys, but I don't think he did. If you look at it from the back angle, he stays within them.
Well, see, that's my guess. Is the only thing I can think of is because there were a couple times earlier in the game, Indiana sent some pressure, and so we had to do, because typically we have a rugby-style punter. He typically rolls out a little bit, punts it. Once or twice, and throughout the playoffs, we've done the quick catch punt. It's quick. So I don't know if there was miscommunication on that, and so he's just thinking, I just have to stay in my spot, and as long as I just chip that guy, he's not getting to where the punter is directly behind me. It's the only way I can defend him, but I don't know. I don't even know if Mario Cristobal has been asked about it or will be asked about it, but it was, and I'm sure you're going to get into it. That was just one aspect of the whole season with him. Honestly.
The whole season, it was a mix of dropped passes, missed opportunities. I mean, even in this game, he's got that big hit that he took, but he's alligator arming it and trying to catch it like this instead of going up and attacking that ball like a tight end. I know Elijah Arroyo is still on our team. He goes up there aggressively for that ball and tries to catch it. And that was a big pass and a big throw by Carson Beck. So I mean, it's it's just been a conglomerate depressing season for Alex Bowman. We need to. I mean, we've got a lot of promising talent coming at tight end, but we need to figure out that position group. Our tight end coach is no longer with the program. He's going to Ole Miss. I like to believe he's probably pushed out. But honestly, and alongside of Alex Bowman, just to talk about this, because I don't think this will also be yours, but is the special teams just lost us? Yeah, lost us the game. Like if you think about it, with Tony taking the ball too close to the end zone, blocked punt, missed field goal by Carter Davis, and we just consistently not in that they won the special teams battle in the sense that we had horrible field position that entire game. Like we never started with the ball on like the 40-yard line. Like we never had promising field position. It was always starting on the 5, the 10, and it was just and with how our offense was looking, it was just a recipe for disaster.
I know. I kept just begging Keelan Marion to stop taking it out. Like, I mean, I know he's catching it just short of the goal line, but it's like you don't have to.
You can still fair catch that. Yep.
Yeah, special teams. We got to get special teams just solidified and cleaned up. Do we have a special teams coordinator? I don't think we do.
I saw a guy that Mario was talking to on the sideline. Yeah.
Whoever does the Cafecito shots with the guys before the game, that's not cutting it. He's not my tropical depression in the game, but the Irish killer. Thank you for beating Notre Dame. I don't know how he made that kick, honestly, to beat Notre Dame.
I know.
It's just not. We need better at the Miami at the kicker position.
And it was a tough kick.
No, yeah,
I still agree with the call to kick it.
It was the right call.
You can't look at Mario for that because at the end of the day, like the game kept being within 3 points, and that was the difference. Is if we get that, there's no guarantee we would have gotten a touchdown by going for it.
And you have to run that clock down because you can't afford to give Indiana the ball back since they're getting the ball after half. If they score there, it's over.
Right.
So at worst case, you're like, we go in at 10-0. That's worst case scenario here.
Yep. Yeah. No. So it was a good call, but yeah, special teams, man. But specifically Alex Bowman, disappointing.
Yeah. I'm going to go, and this, it's tough. It's not fair, but it has to be is Ethan O'Connor is my tropical depression. That fourth quarter, they bullied him. Got absolutely picked apart.
Did OJ get hurt again?
OJ got hurt.
Okay.
And you know what happened too? So in that first half, we were hurt with Xavier Lucas being out.
Yeah.
Off the bogus targeting call.
Difference when Xavier Lucas
So we
came
were
back
playing soft because we just didn't, in Heatherman's mind, we didn't have the manpower to be able to man up on these receivers and play tight. So we were playing very soft. OJ Frederick was playing very soft. If you saw in that third quarter, the times that OJ Frederick was in with Xavier Lucas, our defense was swarming.
Yeah.
We were back to playing press. We were all over him. OJ Frederick gets hurt. Ethan O'Connor is now getting just picked on at corner, and that was how Indiana ends up with multiple big third down conversions. It's not like he was playing bad defense. He was just simply getting beat every time by a better player, and it was tough to watch. So yeah, I feel bad making him. It wasn't anything mental. It wasn't anything. It was just the guy was beating him every time. He's playing good D, but
no, listen. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying that. Like he's had a decent year.
Yeah, that's the thing. He has had.
But we just
season,
needed one of those back shoulder throws for him just to make a play. And frankly,
even
he got completely beat on that one deep ball by Mendoza on that 3rd and 5, and held the receiver and should have gotten called for it.
He had a chance to jump in front and pick that one ball, and instead he batted it down. But it's I'd love to see you intercept.
That's a pick 6 right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how we got beat.
Yep.
Yeah.
They made the big plays.
They did,
and we started to make them, but just didn't make them in time. Started a little slow.
It's one thing though that and it helps with this loss, even though a close loss hurts more. The fact that we continued to battle and fight back and punch back again and again.
We're talking about a team that beat the brakes off of Alabama and beat the brakes off of Oregon.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, I can't tell you how many texts I got from people that were like, I can't believe Miami kept it this close. Like, Miami actually, like, belongs. I'm like, yeah, that's what we've been telling you guys.
it's been apparent. And people just, they harp on the SMU and Louisville losses. But, yeah, that is what makes it tough at the end. And frankly, it's a shame, but it's a matter of, it's like a perfect storm of the state of college football. I'm not going to complain about it because there's ways Miami has benefited from this, having Carson Beck as quarterback, having Cam Ward last season, for example, having Keontae Scott, having Jacoby Thomas. These transfers have been super impactful. To be able to have like the transfer portal and NIL. At the same time, it really hinders depth. Like, no one in the country has depth. The second you have depth, that person's transferring to another team to get playing time. And we saw it in our defensive backs. In a traditionally built college football team, you probably have, if you're a solid like national championship contender, you're probably 2 or 3 deep at these positions, and we weren't. It was basically, one deep of a guy that can truly compete on the level that we need, because if there's another guy that can, he's going to go to another program where he's going to start.
Yeah, but I also think that's why I feel very good about where Miami is in this landscape, because of Mario Cristobal's ability to recruit freshmen that can play and compete right away. That's even more important. He's got a good mix. The fact that we had freshmen out there playing against 24, 25-year-olds and holding their own, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like Malachi Toney is going against guys that are about 6 years older than him. It's unbelievable.
But yeah,
OJ
you're right.
Frederick's
With you,
a sophomore, and he was holding his own. Yeah.
Is OJ Frederick only a sophomore?
True sophomore, yeah.
True sophomore. OJ Frederick's back next year?
Oh, 100% he's back.
Really?
Wait, let me double check. But he's 100% back. But
OJ Frederick's gonna be a first-round draft pick then after next year.
Yeah, no, he really true sophomore.
True sophomore.
Yeah, he was a freshman ACC All-American last year.
I thought that was 2 years ago.
An incredible player and a guy who's been developed by Mario.
Right.
And Damari Brown, if we can just figure him out, but he's a true sophomore too. Like our defense. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, our defense is gonna be very good next season.
They're gonna be very good. They're gonna be different on the defensive line, but we're gonna have different strengths. I think our defensive tackle position is gonna be stronger next year because you got Moten coming back and you got Justin Scott with another year under him, Blount with another year under him, and Blay never getting another offside penalty again. So I think maybe our ends won't be as good, but our inside will be better. But I think our corners, another year under them, they're going to be incredible. If we can figure out kind of what we're doing with the safety position, our defense, I don't think will skip a beat, which is really encouraging. And if we get Mensa, our offense is better than last year. The big question is
receiving core will be very good.
They should be very good. And the big question will be, what's the offensive line going to look like?
Yeah,
we lost a ton of talent on that.
We did.
Yeah.
I know we at least have a center, which is good. We'll actually have 2 guys competing for center. And then
we got Cantwell potentially will be like a Maui Noah and start.
Probably gonna have to jump in and play.
Yeah. That's why I was hoping Markel Bell would possibly stay.
McCoy is going to be great.
Jordan Seaton, the Colorado transfer, he'd be a heck of a pull, but he's a big price tag, and it seems like the reports are feeling like we're not getting him. Maybe we don't want to bid exactly what he is worth, but that would be a great addition too. But yeah, that's gonna be the big question. But you also gotta trust, we're gonna have Pancake. He's got another year. I think McCoy's coming back.
He's back.
So yeah, it's
McCoy's just a sophomore this year, right?
If Cantwell can step in,
which I think he can. I mean, you're talking about the top recruit in the nation.
Yeah, like the first ever Gatorade Player of the Year that's an offensive lineman. But if he can step in and perform, then I actually feel pretty decent about the offensive line.
Let's reload it back.
Yeah,
let's run it back. That's what we do now. That's what you do now. The thing that's the one thing that keeps every time I have optimism there is a lot of optimism for the future. The one thing is when you look at this season, how hard it is to make the national championship. And it's just it's never promised.
But, and Dad and I talked about this because I had the same thought, because I'm like, man, there's so much there's luck that goes into it. There's luck that your quarterback doesn't go down, that your best players don't go down for the year.
Yeah, we were very lucky to be pretty healthy this season.
Mostly healthy. That's how you get to the
Indiana
national
didn't have
championship.
anyone injured.
No, like there's just something weird going on.
Something
over there.
weird. Gosh, I hope they go 0-12 next year. Who
They're
would have
gonna
thought
be
I'd
better
hate
next year,
Indiana?
I think they're gonna be better.
Wait, before you get into that, real quick, as we're still talking about this game specifically, Curt Cignetti, he's a great coach.
He did coach a great game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mario Cristobal gets crucified every timeout he uses. Curt Cignetti's timeout usage was insane. It was some of the worst I've ever seen.
Like, if he doesn't get one of those, we're all talking about that after. Be like, what was Curt Cignetti thinking? Waiting to the last second to call the timeout, go for it on fourth, and then not get it. But he got it, and so they're not going to question you.
Exactly. Or in the first half, the way he used his timeouts, he didn't know he didn't even know how many timeouts he had left. Yeah. And then at the end of the game, on that fourth down, it's like, okay, he calls a timeout, he ends up going for it. I was like, it's a gutsy call, it's a great call. But then he is then presented with the same exact situation again, and he kicks the field goal, and everyone's like, yeah, that's just the right call. Well, I don't get why now he's kicking a field goal. Like, it all turned out to be the right call, I guess, but it's like the guy, yes, he is a great coach, but let's not,
he's not the second coming of Jesus.
Let's pump the brakes on, he's Nick Saban. Let's
see
what happens here.
They ranked the the Saban disciples. Some outlet did it, and they had him ahead of Kirby Smart. And I'm like, I don't know if he deserves it just yet. How
many national championships has Kirby Smart won? Two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and he's done this on a consistent basis for 8 years now.
Yeah. Next year will be they have reloaded again in the portal, but we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Well, we see you see the Norvell blueprint. Sometimes it doesn't work.
Exactly.
You sometimes you lose that. Like
this year, they had guys that their entire offensive line. Which that's what makes their story cool is how many JMU players they had, and it's that's where the stuff the JMU people are like, well, it kills teams like JMU, the portal, but it's like JMU was never in the entire history of football though. JMU was never going to play for a national championship. So
no.
I don't get why now it's suddenly these teams are getting crushed because now JMU can go out or an East Carolina goes out and gets Emory Williams. He's a 4-star quarterback recruit, a quarterback they would never get.
It more so kills Dukes, for example. It kills.
But again, we're talking about Duke. How is this era any different than what we've experienced in the last 100 years of football? 100 years, that's probably too far back. The last 50 years, where a Duke is never going to the national championship.
No, but you get these guys that put butts in the seats, and it's the second you get a guy if any of these programs had Tony, he's gone. 100% gone in a second.
No, I get that. You lose those stories, or a Calvin John. Well, Georgia Tech now's got they can keep anyone, but I don't
TCU, LaDainian Tomlinson back in the day. Given they've done more, but
now
he's probably gone if he was at TCU. If he was there now, and
but now these guys, I think. Now those kind of teams can get the guys that they're just not they're second, third string now at Miami. You think back in the day when you had Frank Gore backing up Clinton Portis.
Yeah, that's what you lose 100%.
Now Frank Gore can go. It's now Frank Gore goes and becomes a star somewhere. It's I think it all kind of
that's the hardest part. You lose the depth.
You lose the depth.
That's why Mario. I'm thankful he's found this rhythm. In this college football landscape, but sometimes I let my mind wander and think if it was the old college football ways, what Mario could be doing right now.
Oh yeah,
and I think it would be pretty disgusting because that when it was just straight up recruiting, there was some under the table stuff that was going on, but you won on relationships and being there for 3 to 4 years. And he would do numbers, but he's done a great job with ways. Thankfully, we have backing from the university, from NIL, and we're able to make it happen and do it in the new way. But sometimes I just think about it.
Yes, if in the pure recruiting way, he would dominate. But two things. I don't think people understand just how rampant the payments were happening.
I think we do now
schools.
When we see the SEC.
Yeah, it is no coincidence that these teams are suddenly just right when NIL becomes level playing field for everyone, that these teams are starting to drop off. Like, I'm talking, I mean, these players were getting paid at schools like Bama, and it just wasn't fair to these other schools. Also, you look at a team like Texas Tech is a prime example of they simply had just stupid money. They could buy whoever they wanted. Yeah, they made it far, but it wasn't a full team, and they ended up just I think you need someone like Mario who can recruit, who can build teams, who can get the right guys in. You can't just be a pocketbook and a checkbook. Oregon's another example.
Look at Oregon's probably the best example.
Yeah, like
they're paid a lot of money. They're not physical. They don't play as a team. They make it far enough because of a weak Big Ten schedule.
So I think it's almost even more important in today's landscape to have a coach like Mario Cristobal, a coach like Curt Cignetti. That team, yes, they were very high on NIL. They weren't a top 5 NIL spender. They probably now will be. Mark Cuban's probably now.
They definitely are now. Yeah,
I'm going to buy everybody. But going into the season, they weren't, and they didn't have like all the 5 stars, 4 stars. But
no, that's a good point. That is a good point.
Drop my other AirPods. Okay. Where we were talking about before I started talking about Curt Cignetti. Getting back to the national championship.
That thing.
No, that's what we were talking about. Because remember, you were saying, yes, you were talking to Dad about how it's harder, it takes luck, but...
Oh, yeah. Oh, it takes luck, but this is really good podcasting.
Here's my thought on it. I think you got to get the first round bye.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to go.
That's what you're going to say.
You got to take care of business.
Yes.
We did not take care of business in the regular season. That's a fact.
Right.
And it left us out of having a first round bye or even just a more favorable playoff path. But but that first round bye is huge. We need to take care of business this year. That's how you go a step up from last year. Is you do what you need to do in the regular season in the ACC. Now, I think we know and we can see now when all these teams have now been able to play each other. Like, I think the ACC was a little bit underrated, and they'll be underrated next year. There could be a team we drop to next year in the ACC, and people are going to overblow it. Oh my God, they lost this ACC team, and they're going to completely forget about Tennessee going wire to wire with a horrible South Carolina team. They're going to call that a tough SEC battle. That rhetoric is not going away, but I still believe, Indiana shows you can do it they had a favorable schedule, but they still did it. They went wire to wire undefeated. We need to take care of business in the regular season, get that first round bye, make our lives easier.
Let's go win an ACC championship before it's gone forever, because that's all FSU cares about is apparently is an ACC championship. Like, you guys, we just played for a national championship. You think any of us care?
Cotton Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, I will take that any day over a stupid ACC championship
100%.
against Virginia.
That's like saying, would you rather take an ACC win against Virginia or a Cotton Bowl win against Ohio State?
Yeah, insanity. But you're right. That is the key for next season, because this gauntlet that we went through with having to play at Texas A&M, then having to play Ohio State, then having to play Ole Miss, and then you're finally in the championship. It is almost impossible to win that many ranked games in that kind of environment. Like, it just doesn't happen.
If you look at Indiana's path, they had a mediocre Alabama team that got beat by a 5-7 or what would they go 4-8, 5-7 FSU team, that didn't deserve to be in the playoff.
Yeah,
and then they got to play an Oregon team who they had already played during the season.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to play a Cignetti team twice. And so their path, I mean, like, was not hard. I mean, like, it's a hard, they're good teams that they're playing.
They earned it.
But they earned it. They earned it at the end of the day, and they're the first team to actually win that bye week game.
Yeah.
And so, they deserve it. But that's what that's the template we need to take next year. We don't need this gauntlet.
So if we look at next year's schedule, they should really actually any day now be releasing exact dates. The only 3 dates that have been picked is we open or no, they haven't even picked the opening date game yet. It's gonna be an ACC game. Whatever game we open with will be ACC. Yeah,
make it Duke.
That would be something. Because we do play Duke at home. So the schedule now is Florida A&M September 12th, Central Michigan September 26th. The only other game that has a date now, and this is the big one, is at Notre Dame November 7th. Notre Dame will be undefeated at that point.
Their schedule is a joke.
It's a joke.
Year. That's gonna be
you can drop that game.
Though.
You can lose that game
100%. Yeah,
and
you're not going to get your first round bye. Maybe you will if you go all the way out and you win the ACC.
Yeah, I think you're a first round bye team. 11-1.
But it's the 4 highest ranked teams now. It's not, they don't really care. Right. So potentially we do, depending on how we look in that Notre Dame game. But if anything, we have a home field first game.
Yeah, which is also huge. And I would like to remind everybody that this national championship game, even though it was played at Hard Rock Stadium, I would like to remind everyone that the ticket allotment for both teams were completely equal.
Yeah.
And then tickets were going for $4,000 were the cheapest tickets.
Right.
Indiana, this was a once-in-a-lifetime run for them. Of course they're going to have more people at that game than Miami.
People are acting like this was some major missed opportunity.
Yeah.
That we didn't win it because it was in the Orange Bowl because it was at Hard Rock. That played no factor in this game.
No,
and it was never going to play a
neutral
factor.
Site field.
Back in the day, it absolutely played a factor because people were scalping tickets and
right.
You could get into these games for $100. But when the tickets are $4,000, your normal average fans aren't going to that game. They're going to stick to the normal ticket.
Indiana
allotment.
Sure is because this is they've never won anything ever. And they also have, I don't even know how many times larger of a alumni base than Miami.
Oh, they're one of the largest in the country. They also don't deserve all this though. God, they haven't had to struggle. They went 2 years. They were 3-9, and then they all of a sudden just boom, we're in the playoff the next year. Boom, we won the national championship the next year. It's not fair.
And then so we play at Clemson. It'll be interesting. It's at Clemson, but Clemson's kind of a mess still. We're a better team. We get Boston College at home, Duke at home, Florida State at home, Pitt at home, Virginia Tech at home. Virginia Tech's going to be good, but we get them home. Then we're at North Carolina. North Carolina's going to be improved, but still, we should win that. Although at North Carolina has always been a pain for Miami. We're at Stanford. We're at Wake Forest. Yeah. You look at this schedule. With the team that Miami's returning next year, I feel good about it.
100%.
I feel really good about it.
I mean, I'm likely to predict another 11-1, potentially 12-0 season when we get around to it.
Yeah.
Next August or in July.
I don't love opening with an ACC game. I'm a big proponent of opening with a Florida A&M or Central Michigan, but
yeah,
here we are. Dude, what if we opened Florida State? Home
we
against
should.
Florida
I'd love
State.
to go back to that.
That'd be sick.
Who are they trotting at a quarterback? Where's he from?
Auburn guy.
Oh, you think he'll be the starter?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the two very different worlds the Hurricanes are living in versus the Florida State Seminoles. I mean, we're fighting for Darian Mensah, and they're using the Auburn backup quarterback as their starter. But
it's tough.
But yeah, well, listen. I mean, we guess we can close out the national championship conversation here.
Yes.
It hurts. It will always hurt, but obviously
one day I'll be able to rewatch it.
Yeah. Obviously, we didn't want to be in a position where, don't rewatch that. Obviously, we don't want to be in a position where we're having to convince ourselves of to be happy and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, there is so much to be happy about this season. The sixth ring would have been incredible. It would have felt, it would have been unbelievable. However, wow, how far have we come? We did not expect any of this. Give where we were before we were announced to be in the playoff, and this team showed what they're capable of and what Mario Ball is, and what it does to other teams in the country. And so we have the difference. And here's the last thing I'll say. I had thought about the fact that you always hear. I've heard a lot of people that were conscious adults back in 2002. When they were at that game, they were saying, "Man, it's like we're going to be back here every single year." and they're like Miami reporters and stuff like that, or Miami fans were saying like, we're always going to be back in this. And then you get this 23-year drought. And that scared me when I thought about it, because we're kind of saying the same thing. And we're like, man, we're going to be back. Like, you can't tell me we're not going to be back. And then I'm thinking back in my head, well, what if there is another drought? What if this, like, it's so hard to make it to the national championship. The big difference is back in 2002, we had Larry Coker as our coach and no vision and no program. It was built on sand at that point after those players left that were basically running our program. We have Mario Cristobal, who's literally going to, he will not let himself die without Miami Hurricanes winning another national championship. And so it's two completely different situations. It's scary to think about because you see how hard it is to get back there, but I have full faith that we are going to make deep playoff runs for years to come.
I do too, my friend. I do too. I think if you told me going into this season that you beat Notre Dame, you beat FSU, you beat Florida, you then beat Ohio State to win the Cotton Bowl, I will sign up for that season every single time.
Every single day, twice on Sundays. If you told me that, the crazier thing would be if someone told you that after, well, I guess all you knew about most of those wins, but if they said after the SMU game, someone came up to you and said, hey, they're going to be in the national championship and almost win it. Like, you would think they're crazy. Honestly, you might have, Joe, because the episode that we released after that SMU game was called 10-2, because Joe was saying we're going to go 10-2 and we're going to make the playoffs, and I was so mad, and I'm like, I can't even listen to any of this, and look at us now. So,
indeed. Okay. Obviously, this is the end of the 2025 to 2026 season, but there's a lot more to come here. We will be following it, but it starts with the portal. There's been a lot of, obviously, Miami has a different portal window, Miami and Indiana, because they played up to the national championship, so there's been a lot of movement. Jimmy, in front of you, do you have our list of guys that have come in, guys that have gone out? But breaking news today is the Pringle news of Pringle announced yesterday he was transferring, and then today he's back. Mario got it done. Nice and easy. Bing, bang, boom.
I wonder what that was all about. I'm sure the team to watch was Alabama, apparently, that was looking at pulling him.
A lot of tampering going on.
Listen, we're the only team in the country that gets going to
sued.
Court over
this
here.
This is 2 years in a row now we've gotten sued for stuff like this. When
Miami is not allowed to pull these guys, but Duke is allowed to do that to the player that they're suing.
Emory Williams signed with East Carolina while we were still in the locker room getting undressed.
Isaiah Horton hadn't even taken off his jersey, and he was already, on the phone with DeBauer with Alabama. We have had players tampered with. We tamper with players. Other programs tamper with players. It's the Wild West out there.
You have to because of the
there's
window.
No regulation because everyone else is doing it, and then until someone gets something in place. But the big problem is it's become super apparent right now with where Miami is right now. We've already kind of talked about this, but they're sitting on an island because every other team, the transfer portal's closed, and so. There's only the players in the portal right now, and there's not going to be any new additions until all these Miami guys came in. They're the only ones that are kind of like the fresh meat. And all these programs that missed out on the guys that they needed to in the initial portal window are now seeing these new guys in Miami and probably just offering stupid amounts of money. And I think that's why you see this Pringle news. There's worries about a couple of our wide receivers right now. I've heard Josh Moore's name thrown around. I don't know if there's actually any validity to that, but there's these players that are these young guys that showed a ton of upside that they're some of them might get poached, and that's just the nature of the game. But it's a shame that we're sitting on this island right now. We can't do anything about it. We can't go out to these other programs now that we're done with the national championship and go take players from them, but they can take it from us because we made a deep run. I don't know. I don't like the system.
There's also the aspect of, obviously, yes, money's being presented, but there's also the aspect of these guys, there's no control over representation of these players. So a lot of these players, literally, some of them have their uncle like representing them in these deals, and basically they're hearing from some random guy at another college, hey, we can offer them this X amount of money, also X amount of playing time. Like, there's all of these promises that happen because playing time is a huge portion of this in the portal era, where guys are like, I'm not starting. I think I'm this good. And then other people are like, yeah, you're that good. Come, you'll start with us and you'll get paid, blah, blah, blah. And then that doesn't ever come to fruition. And that's why you see then all the portal hopping. They go from one school to the next. Some of it is like the guys are just like, oh, well, it didn't work out here, I'm going to go there. A lot of it's like you're having players that are being lied to and being just like, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is, but manipulated, because there's no actual like legal representation happening. It's chaos out there.
Yeah, it's chaos. It's chaos. They call it the Wild West for a reason.
We need a collective bargaining agreement yesterday.
Yes, there needs to be some guardrails on this, because it hurts the teams, and it also, hurts the players. There's a lot of advantages for the players in this, but like you said, like there's
a lot of players are getting burned from this.
Yeah, there's more people entering the portal than there are spots on teams.
And then there's nothing binding. So you can promise a player something, he goes there, and then it's like that doesn't end up happening. And now you just left a really good spot.
But a big announcement today was, is it Damon or Damon, however he says it, but Wilson from Missouri.
Yes.
Huge get. I mean,
needed it.
You will never be able to replace a Ruben Bain or an Akeem Mesidor, but you can get relatively close. And he was one of the most coveted defensive ends in the portal. Mario closed on today. A massive get. I also love Omar Thornton. That was the other big one that we got. The guy from Boston College, big hitter, American Heritage guy.
Which is why I'm blanking on the freshman that just transferred, who was going to be playing. He was going to be probably playing nickel. He was a big loss. Oh, what's his name?
That transferred out from us?
Yeah. Safety, freshman. He was going to be good, but I think the Boston College guy is
Markeith Williams. Oh, Amari Wallace.
Yeah. Amari Wallace. I think Amari Wallace transferred because of this Boston College get.
Which is a shame, because it's like, one play, this guy can get hurt.
Right,
and he goes
that's
down.
It's all short-sighted in this new age, but
yeah,
I mean,
you have Jadias Richard is transferring as well.
He couldn't
Malik
stay
Bryant
healthy.
was the other one. He couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, Malik Bryant hurt,
caused
but
a ton of issues.
I did forget about what was the linebacker I said today that we've got that I forgot we're bringing back.
Kellen Riley. Or what's his, no, not Kellen
Wiley.
Yeah.
Wiley. He'll be good. We need, I think, one more addition at linebacker.
Yeah, linebacker's a little thin.
Yeah.
It's always been thin. I don't remember the last time we've had like depth
this
at
Missouri
linebacker.
guy, Lightfoot and this Missouri guy on the edges. Hayden Lowe's going to be there.
The line's going to be disgusting. The line's going to be
Ahmad
gross.
Moten is returning.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's a big get.
And I think Torre will stay. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Mohamed Toure, is he coming back? That'd be huge.
The rumor is that he can. It's a matter of will he. Because I think he technically can get one more year.
Better.
Yeah. So, so that's the portal, and we got Wilson today. Pringle is coming back. That's the big news. That is big. The running back depth, because I'm actually surprised Lyle hasn't entered. But I kind of anticipated
at first
that
I
we
thought,
didn't see him
it's
any
Pringle's,
time this year.
Yeah.
So
if Lyle can also come back, I mean, I would not blame Jordan Lyle for transferring at this point.
No, I wouldn't either. But I also think
like.
he knows he was the starter coming into the season, and he lost it because he was unhealthy. So I think he will get significant burn next year if he gets healthy. There's a reason Mario Cristobal makes you the starter on the team. I just don't think we ever saw a healthy Jordan Lyle.
Yeah. Get me Mensa, and then how about his buddy who just also entered the portal, wide receiver Cooper Barcati? that would be huge if you can get him. If we get him, our wide receiving core, I feel great about. And then plus, who is the wide receiver recruit that this year? That's gonna be really good.
Oh, we got. We have
Ringo.
a few.
Samori Ringo.
But we also have Paris. Right? I think that was his name.
I'm looking now, but
we had
Milan Paris.
Yeah, we had a great wide receiver recruiting class. So no, I am not worried about the offense. If we get
JV Mallory coming in at running back,
he'll be a good. Hopefully he takes the time to learn and do what he needs to do.
Jordan Campbell, freshman linebacker. So you don't want to start a freshman at linebacker, but
yeah.
We'll see.
Oh, a point I wanted to talk about was you see the viewership on the national championship?
Gosh, we had a good recruiting class. Yes, I did
30.1 million. That compared to last year's Ohio State Notre Dame game, there was 22 million for that. So
that logo means something.
A lot of eyes on this game. Obviously, we would rather all those eyes be on a W, but I think people saw, Miami's putting together a program right now. We got a program.
We do. I mean, like we said, it was a great national championship game. It was clearly the best two teams in the country by far. And I think the fact that everyone went in thinking Indiana was just going to blow us out, and then it's like, oh, wow, these are pretty equal teams, and they ended up just making one more play than us. But, that it is what it is, and it was just a heck of a season. What a run. I'll remember it forever. And now it's already almost the end of January. We'll have spring ball starting up soon.
It's
crazy.
The national championship's another week later next season.
Yeah, it'd be like 3 days from today or something.
Yeah.
But
I think it's the 24th. Yeah.
But we'll be back week 1 at Hard Rock before you know it. Can't wait.
I cannot wait.
With Mensa under center.
43 minutes ago, wide receiver JoJo Trader has entered the transfer portal. That checks out.
Does not surprise me. Yeah,
he is. I hope he goes and is great wherever he's at. What a disappointment this season, though. I mean, it's just a huge disappointment. Drop passes, as all the talent in the world, but just didn't rise to the level of elite college football.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think now though, I really need Josh Moore to stay. Because Josh Moore is going to be great for us. Yeah, JoJo Trader, he had his opportunities, and it never panned out. He's got the talent. He could be great, but that one makes perfect sense. I was shocked it hadn't happened yet.
And the more stuff I'm saying, that was random Twitter stuff I saw. It could literally be nothing. I didn't check any of these people's sources, even if they were people who had sources.
Wait, what did you say? Sorry, I blanked.
No, I'm saying the more stuff that I was saying. Like I wouldn't necessarily sweat over that. I didn't actually see anything truly credible with that. People brought up, they're like, our young players they're attacking them, basically with huge numbers. At the end of the day, you can't blame some of these kids if they're offered millions and millions and millions. It's like that's life-changing money. But I can't imagine Moore's offered like millions and millions.
And I'm like, JoJo Trader's not being offered millions.
No, JoJo Trader, honestly, it might be a matter of he got offered something and we didn't. We're like, he sounds good. Yeah.
I also just think it's a lot of these guys, they need, I think it is easy now in the NIL, pre-NIL, when the portal was still a thing, there was a lot to do with playing time. I still think a lot of that is. It's like these guys need to get on the field as much, you could even take a pay cut just to get playing time.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if JoJo Traders needs a fresh start.
Oh no! Top tier Miami at least tweeted Mohamed Touré will be back for the 2026 season.
That's huge. Well, so now JoJo Trader's
I'm getting all
gone,
the news.
So I think Malachi Toney's going to take number 1. I think that's so. I'd hold off on the jersey, Jimmy, until we finalize Malachi Toney's number. Yeah, he was number 1 at American Heritage. Okay.
Yeah, so now number 1 is open,
right,
on the team. But shout out KG just tweeted about JoJo Trader. Notice how every Miami fan is wishing him luck and not wanting to sue. Yeah, Duke, take a note. The heck of it is Duke is actively recruiting another transfer portal quarterback. So they're just doing this for the love of the game to just make Mensa's life as difficult as possible.
Yeah, it's like Mensa doesn't want to play for you guys now.
No, it's never going to happen. What are you going to do? Just hold him hostage and like, I don't know. Like these contracts. Listen, I can't decipher any of the terminology that they're talking about, but like
at the end of the day, they're not employment contracts.
If you're not going to call them an employee, you can't keep them at your university.
Yep. Okay. Anything else?
I'm still reading just a lot of good news. The timeline's popping tonight. I mean, it's just the Pringle coming back news is huge. Gabby Arita said summon Pringle's camp, or this was before he officially came back, but he had said summon Pringle's camp are advocating for Pringle to stay. Again, Miami's battling to keep him, and I'm of understanding that there will be a conversation before the 2-day deadline to turn.
That's another thing we have to understand is that these are kids. And the power that they have, they can make these quick decisions. And then then Mario Cristobal comes in the room, everyone sits down, you have a conversation, you talk it through, and here we are. I'm not saying that's what happened, but like we don't know any, like, whatever happens with these. That's why it's fun to follow and get excited, but for the most part, it's like whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Who's on my team when we open up the season? Let's go.
Yeah. Yep. Well, should be an exciting offseason. Now we're in offseason talk. The great thing is, not only are we regular season state champs, and it's a very successful team during the season, made it to the national championship, but we're offseason champs too.
Yeah, always are.
Mario dominates the offseason. Mm-hmm. He gives us a lot to talk about and be happy about. I mean, this Mensa news was kind of the first of it when that thing dropped. But
it was just like the guy. I don't know how it was always his plan. I don't know how he does it. We were all
gross.
Panicking. Who's our quarterback going to be? He knew. He said it's not a single name you're thinking of right now.
Yeah. I would take him, if we can figure this out, I'd take him over Sam Levitt any day of the week.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, it was a fun season. This was a great year.
Great season. Best season ever for Miami Knights.
Best season ever for Miami Knights. Best season to just be following this team in a very, very long time. It's always fun to record podcasts when your team's winning. I mean, Joe and I, our first season we started recording this was the 7-5 Mario season, and it's tough recording those losses. And thankfully, we hadn't had to do one in a very long time. But today was one of them. But hey, you could look back fondly on the season.
You certainly can, James. It's been a pleasure. We will we'll definitely be more active this offseason than we were last season. But follow us on X, like and subscribe on YouTube. We got a lot of better production stuff happening next season. Right, Jimmy?
I'll spend my summer on that one, but yeah.
Beautiful. All right, everybody. Have a great week. Have a great month. Have a great year. We'll see you at the Rock in August.
As always, go Canes, baby.